I am in this happy place called the Nether, and I think I need to go to class because it's time for math, so I need to go to math. And look at these nice guys. Let's say hi. Uh-oh, I think he's mad at me now. Let's jump through here. Oh, hey guys, why are you over here? What the heck? How do I get to the classroom? Oh, let's go in my boat. We must get to class. It's very important. Okay, let's get out of here. And let's go, go, go. Woo! I'm taking a shortcut, which is kind of like flying. Okay, now here we are. Here's our beautiful classroom. It even says, Right Charter, Room 24, Mr. Singer. Hey guys, sorry to keep you waiting. I know you're all very excited about starting math class. So let's look at this math lesson, which is lesson 4.5. Okay, hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Singer, and we're going to do a lesson today about converting units. So what I'd like you to do is please go to page 290 in your book. Please, page 290. I'll write it right over here. Page 290. This is an important one, and you're going to have to write some stuff down too. And this page is really important because it has this chart on it. This chart is super important. This tells you about how to convert between different units. Now, if we were living in Europe and we did everything with metric, it would be much simpler. But you need to know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot, 3 feet in 1 yard, and 5,280 feet in 1 mile. It would be great if you memorized at least those, but if you don't memorize it, for now it's okay because you can always come back to page 290 and look at this. This is so important that I want you to go to the corner of your page and fold the corner down so that you can always find this page, because I will let you look at this page during a test if you need to. The other things that are on this page is for weight. There's 16 ounces in a pound, 2,000 pounds in a ton, and for capacity, that means like volume, how much stuff fits in things, 8 ounces in a cup, 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. And again, if you don't have this memorized, that's okay, because you can always come back and look at this, but you will have to come look at this, like even during this lesson, you will have to look at this a lot. So the other thing that you need to know is if we're converting from something bigger to something smaller, like for instance, here we have foot to inches, right? A foot is big, and an inch is small. Small. So if you're going from, and now this is what I want you to write down in your journal, or you can write it down here on the side of your page. So if you're going from large to small, and that means see a larger unit here to smaller unit. If you're doing large to small, you multiply. So please write this down. Large to small, you multiply. So if I want to know how many inches, so if there's 12 inches in 1 foot, if I say how many inches are in 2 feet, well, I would do 2 times 12, and that would tell me how many inches are in 2 feet. Got it? So large to small is multiply. The other thing I want you to write down is, if we're doing the other thing, if we're going from small to large, then you divide. So these two things you should have written down, either nice and big in your book or smaller or write it in your math journal, someplace where you will see it and never forget. I'll write divide again. I kind of drew over the line. So large to small, you multiply. Small to large, you divide. That means if I say I have 36 inches, how many feet is that? Well, if I know there's 12 inches in a foot, I would do 36 divided by 12, which is 3. Now let's look at some examples that go with that. Have you written that down? I sure hope so. Okay, let's scroll down here. All right, so now here we are. Well, let's look at an example they give. They say convert 20 feet to inches. So feet are bigger than inches, right? So that means I'm going from large to small. That means I'm going to multiply. So 20 feet is going to be 20 times what? Well, I go back up to the top and I know how many inches are in a foot. Well, there's 12 inches in a foot, right? So I do 12. So it's going to be 20 times 12. Another way to look at it is if I have 20 feet, 1, 2, I'm not going to draw all 20 of them, but there's 12 inches in each one of these. That also tells you 20 times 12. So I multiply this 2 times 0, or I put a 0 down and go 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. That's 240, and look at that, 240. Now they show another way with kind of fractions and cross-canceling. I think their way is harder, actually. I think my way is easier. So it's large, from the large unit, which is feet, to the small unit, which is inches, you multiply. So let's look at letter A down here. Here we have 36 yards to blank feet. So yards are bigger than feet. So this is large and this is small, which means you're going to multiply. So 36 yards equals how many feet? Well, if we look back up at the top of the page, we see that when we are converting yards to feet, I see there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So I come back down here and now I would say, okay, so it's going to be times, and it's going to be 36 yards times, and then there's 3 feet in a yard, so it's going to be times 3, right? And another way to think of that is if I have all these yards that look like this, 1, 2, 3, imagine I was drawing 36 of them, and that means there's 3 feet in each one of those yards, all the way to 36. It's the same as 36 times 3. And so you do this one. Ready, go. Okay, good. So we go 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So your answer should be 108. There are 108 feet in 36 yards. Got it? Oh boy, look at the next one. This one's more even complicated because it's a fraction. So we're looking at T, which is tons, for pounds. So if I look up at the top, I see that 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds, right? So now, what would 3/4 of a ton be? So that means I now have to do 3/4 times 2,000. Oh my gosh, good thing we already know how to do this, right? 3/4 times 2,000. And of course, we can cross cancel. Should I just do this one for you? Yeah. No, you do it yourself. Ready, go. Okay, so we can cross cancel, right? I can say 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 2,000. Well, 4 goes into 25 times, so it would be 5, and the zeros stay there. So that would be 500. 3 times 500 is 1,500. So the answer should be 1,500. All right, cool. Let's try letter C, which is also a fraction-y one. So I see this is QT means quarts and PT means pints. That's complicated if you don't know that. So I look back up here. Here I have quarts and pints. Oh, there's 2 pints in a quart. Okay, that's really helpful. There's 2 pints in a quart. So we have 1.5 quarts. So we have 1 1/2 quarts times, well, we don't know how many pints, but we know there's 2 pints in a quart, so I have to multiply that times 2. Oh, hey, isn't this just like what we did? We just had a test on this, didn't we? So this is 2 is the same as 2 over 1. So now you're going to have to turn this into an improper fraction, 1.5 times 2, or you might be able to just figure out what 1.5 times 2, right? 1 1/2. If you have 2 of those, what are you going to get? Okay, ready, on your mark, get set, go. All right, so if you multiply 1.5 times 2, you should figure out that 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. And look, we can cross cancel the 2's and we just left with 3 over 1, which is just plain old 3. So you should have 3 as your answer for that. All right, now we're going to go the other direction. Notice all of these problems we did multiplying because we're going from a big unit to a small unit. Let's do the opposite now. Okay, so now we're on the next page, page 291, and we're going to go about halfway down the page. So now we're converting smaller units to larger. And remember, when we go smaller to larger, that means divide. Okay, smaller to larger means divide. So if you look at this one, it says convert 15 quarts to gallons. So quarts are smaller than gallons, so it means we're going to divide. So, and if I look back at the chart, go ahead and look back at the chart. How many quarts in a gallon? So 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. So there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So, oh, look, it even says 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So, and there are 15 quarts. So that means I have to do 15 divided by 4. Got it? So 15 divided by 4. How many times does 4 fit into 15? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, so that's too big. So let's try 3. 3 times 4 is 12, and 15 minus 12 is 3. So I could do remainder 3, or the way we do it now is 3 3/4. They put it as a decimal, so you should know that 3 3/4 is the same as 3.75. So that's how we get that. Right, okay, cool. So let's now try some of these. Remember, we're going from smaller, which is like feet, to miles, which is big, which means we divide. Got it? So let's do, I'll do the first one with you because it's kind of, these are hard because they all use fractions. I wish they would have given us some easy examples first. So we have to convert 2,640 feet into miles, right? So we have 2,640 into miles. And how many miles, how many feet in a mile? Well, 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So I have to do 2,640 divided by, I'll write it as a fraction, divided by 5,280. Well, that's weird because 5,280 is already bigger, right? So that means our answer is going to be a fraction. Our answer is going to be less than 1. So let's divide, let's reduce this and see what we get. Well, I can, just looking at this, I know that, look, 26 and 26 is already 52, and 40 and 40 is 80, which means this is actually equal to 1/2. So for letter E, your answer would be 1/2. And that is kind of a hard one. So let's try another one. Let's try letter F. I'm going to clear all this. So F is 100 ounces equals how many pounds? 100 OZ equals blank LB. Do you know why LB means pounds? If you speak Spanish, you should know, because how do you say pounds in Spanish? That'll be a big hint. So when I look back at the other page, I see that there are 16 ounces in a pound. So I'm going to say 16 OZs, 16 ounces equals 1 LB, 1 pound. So that means to figure out how many ounces, how many pounds is 100 ounces, I'm going to have to do 100 divided by 16, because there's 16 ounces in a pound. And you now figure this out. Ready, go. All right, well, if I do 16 into 100, let's see, I can guess 5 times 16 would be 50 plus, that's 30. I think let's try 6 times. I'm going to put a 6 here, and then I'm not sure, so I'll do 6 times 16. 6 times 6 is 30. 36. 6 times 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 96. That's pretty close. 96. And then I subtract, and I get 4. So it would be remainder 4, or now what we do is write 4 over 16. Can we reduce 4 over 16? Yes, we can. So if I have 6 and 4 over 16, I can divide both sides by 4, right? This is reducing. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So then for letter F, my answer would be 6 and 1/4. 1/4. 4/16 is the same as 1/4. Whew, this is hard stuff, isn't it? All right, let's try letter G, and then that'll be good. Letter G, we're converting 3 cups to how many pints? I don't know how many cups are in a pint, so I go back and I look at that page. Good thing I folded the corner down so I can see. and I see that there are 2 cups in a pint. 2 cups equals 1 pint, right? So if I'm doing 3 cups, that means I have to do 3 divided by 2. Well, that's easy. You could also do 3 divided by 2, or you can do 3 over 2. Ready, go. All right, well, you should know this from all the other stuff we've done. 2 goes into 3 once with 1 left over, and whatever's on the bottom stays on the bottom. So your answer should be 1 and 1/2. Rock and roll. Okay, guys, let's go to page 292. Page 292, and we're only going to do 2 problems here, and then we're done with this whole thing. So please go to page 292, and we're going to just do number 1 and number 3. Do the odd ones, and that's enough. So here we are converting 5 1/3 yards to feet. So we're going from large to small, which means we're going to multiply. So, and how many feet are in a yard? 3 feet equals 1 yard, right? And so large to small, we're going to multiply 5 1/3 times 3. Okay, you try number 1. Ready, go. Okay, so what you should do is, and good thing we just finished a whole chapter all about this, 5 1/3 times 3 over 1 will give us our answer. So you do 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16 over 3 equals times 3 over 1. And check it out. The 3's just cancel, right? Both sides of 3, and you're just left with 16. So your answer is a big fat 16. That's pretty easy, huh? Let's try number 3. You guys see if you can figure it out. Go look at your page to know how many quarts are in a gallon. I'll give you a hint. We're going from small to large on this one. We're going small to large. So I wonder what that means. Okay, ready, go. All right, so 12 quarts, we're going from small to large. That means you divide, and there are 4 quarts, 4 QTs equals 1 gallon. So that means you're going to have to do 12 divided by 4, which hopefully you know is a big fat 3 as your answer. All right, that's enough for today, because this is like, if you're not used to this, it bends your mind a little bit, and they give you sometimes hard questions. So have a great day, and I'm going to give you one more question, which is this. Ready, go.